Hi, you're in the garden with April. Welcome to the Chandler Community Education Garden at Veterans Oasis Park. And today we're going to be talking about spring planting. Right now it is time for warm season vegetables and flowers, and the first thing you want to do is pick out what you want to plant in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months. To get everything ready for your garden, you're going to want to think about how your soil is. You want to go ahead and test it, make sure it's at the right pH and has the right fertilizer. If you need to add some amendments, you can do that. You can do some compost, whatever it needs. Now's the time to check those irrigation lines so that everything's ready to go when it's time for you to plant. In the meantime, you can also be planting some things inside so they're ready to plant in the coming weeks and months, such as your peppers, cucumbers, onion. We're going to try jicama in our garden this time. Of course, don't forget tomatoes. And then you also have your herbs that are going to be great for spring are your peppermint and basil, oregano, rosemary, chives, sage. You can get those all seeded and ready to go. So they can be planted in 4 or 6 weeks whenever you feel like they're ready to go in the ground. And then we also want to get some flowers so we have our food for our pollinators. And some of those could be flowers like zinnia, marigolds, salvia is a great one that's kind of native to here, as well as milkweeds, which is great for our butterflies and our monarchs. Sunflowers, those you want to direct seed, so you might start those further into the end of March or April. Nasturtiums, they actually attract pests, so any pests that are already in your garden, like aphids, they actually like to go over to the nasturtiums so that they kind of get off your other plants. And they're pretty too. And now we're going to talk about things that you want to direct seed. And by direct seed, I mean you're not starting them in pots ahead of time inside. You're actually going to start them in the garden themselves because they don't do well transplanting. A few things that we want to get started soon is some of our squashes, our summer squashes, yellow squash, zucchini, your watermelon, cantaloupe, cowpeas, or black-eyed peas. You could plant those all the way through the summer too. You can even start pumpkins. Then you have your green beans, your garden beans, and you have sweet corn. And what we're going to do here at the Education Garden, we're going to plant our sweet corn, and then we're going to also plant our green beans in between so that the corn can be used as a trellis for our green beans. So we get 2 veggies in a little space, and that's maximizing our space there too. Which brings me to another topic when you're thinking about your spring garden. One of the things you might think about is what you're actually going to be planting in the future, like in the summer. And for example, if you're planting cucumber now for April, that's only going to take a few months before it comes ready, and it might last a little longer than that. And that way by August, it may be ready for that space for you to plant your winter squash or some more pumpkins. So you want to kind of think in advance like that. Look for your short season varieties for places in your garden that you're going to want to plant in the summertime. Hopefully that's enough information to get you started for this spring and get to planting. That's all for now. If you'd like more information about gardening or how you can volunteer here in our garden, contact the Environmental Education Center or check out Break Time for more details.